What's going on, you guys? C. Keith Carnes here. Welcome back to my countdown series. I have not done one of these in over a year. I didn't realize it was so long. But anyway, let's get into it. I'm sorry for the hiatus for those who follow my channel, and I told you guys there was a new one coming soon. I apologize. I don't mean to lie or anything, but I just completely kind of forgot about this series. So I'm going to go ahead and resurrect it, which is kind of ironic considering who we're talking about. We're talking about the top 5 masks. Now remember, this is my opinion, as you saw the disclaimer before the video started. This is my opinion. I'm sure you have a different one, and I'm very interested to see what top 5 masks you have yourself. So without further ado, let's get into it with the one that scored last place. And before anybody asks, the reason I did 5 spots instead of all the movies is because a lot of the masks throughout the movies look very, very similar or 100% identical, so it's kind of stupid to rate one lower than the other when they're very much the same. So instead of just doing all that, I was going to do that, but instead of doing that, I just decided to just pick the 5 that I like the most. So I like all of these masks. These are all my favorite masks from the series, but these are from my least favorite to my ultimate favorite. So without further ado, as I just said, let's go ahead and take a look at my pick for number 5. So coming in at number 5, as you just saw, was Friday the 13th, Part 7. I believe it was called The New Blood, which actually was an okay movie. Not too bad, not great, but not too bad. The reason I really like this mask, and you can go back and look at it after I talk about this and kind of look at the details that I point out. The reason I really like this mask is because it's just so beat up. I like how he's missing a part of his mask, like right here, and you can see some of his teeth, and he's still got the axe mark from a previous movie. It's really cool how they did that. They carried over damage from the previous films, which is something that I don't think they really ever did with Michael Myers or anybody else, really. I think Jason's really the only one that's ever done that. So that was a really cool little plus, and that's why, I mean, the reason it gets 5th place, though, is because I feel that the other ones on here were just a lot better. We're just that much better, but this is definitely one of the coolest masks Jason has ever donned, and I wouldn't mind seeing something like this in the remake, as they're getting ready to once again reboot this series. So anyway, guys, let's move on to number 4. So coming in at number 4, as you just saw, was Jason's mask from Freddy vs. Jason, the 2003 film that everybody was stoked to get. I remember when it came out, I was only 12 years old, so I was a kid, probably too, fair enough to say I was probably a little too young to see this movie, but I saw it and I turned out okay. Anyway, I remember seeing this and going to school the next day after seeing it. Everybody was talking about it. It was the talk of the town, so to speak, and it's sad that we never got a second one, but anyway, onto the mask itself. The reason this one gets better than A New Blood, the New Blood, whatever it's called, a mask, is because of its simplicity and the fact that it was able to come across as cool. You know, that's a big thing I love about Michael Myers, is that his masks are so simple that they're creepy, and this is one of those instances. In this movie, Jason is so imposing and has such an ability to be creepy with a hockey mask that is pretty much simple. I mean, there's nothing really special about it, and for some reason, for me, that just kind of sticks out at being one of my favorite masks. So in Freddy vs. Jason, I just love the mask. I think it fits the head of the actor and the head that they put on the mask underneath the hockey mask. I think it was all just really well done. And I think it's one of his better masks for sure, which is why it gets number 4 on the top 5. I definitely like it, and let's hope we get a Freddy vs. Jason 2. We're well over a decade due for one. Anyway, guys, let's go on to number 3. Yes, there's probably some of you that are extremely much facepalming at this moment in time, but I'm sorry, I had to put it on the list. I really like this look. I've liked it ever since I saw the movie in theaters, and I've just thought it was always a cool alternate look. Of course, we're talking about the upgraded version of Jason in the 2001 film Jason X. This is definitely a really cool movie. It's extremely bad acting, extremely cheesy, and the whole premise of the movie itself is completely stupid. But I have to say, as a cheesy, stupid movie, I love this movie for all its cheesiness. So with that being said, Jason from Jason X Upgraded gets the number 3 spot just because it was a really cool change. It was something different. It was something that changed the way that Jason looked, and to me, it did it very successfully. He's still creepy. I love the completely red eyes. I think it really brought a lot of newness to the character, if you will. And I don't know, I just think they did really good. So that's why it gets number 3. It really sticks out in my mind when I think of Jason. A lot of the times the Jason X Upgrade will come to my mind, even though I'm sure a lot of people didn't like it, and a lot of people hate this movie. I'm one of those people that love this movie, and thought that was a really cool thing that they did with the upgrade. So anyway, guys, let's move on to number 2. Coming in at the number 2 spot is none other than Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake, which I actually am a big fan of this movie. I thought it was a really done remake, which makes me sad that they're remaking it again. Hollywood, stop it. We don't need 48 remakes. I mean, for fuck's sake, they're already remaking Spider-Man again, and now they're calling it, it was the Amazing Spider-Man, now they're calling it the something else Spider-Man. It's just like, stop. And Jason is no exception. Jason is getting yet another reboot, but anyway, I'm getting a little off track here. In 2009, they brought back Jason Voorhees. They brought back just like a clean slate, and to me, they did really good. And this mask gets number 2. Now, once again, we're going to kind of go back to the simplicity, but not so much just the simplicity, but also the fact that Jason was so powerful in this movie. Now, I kind of went over the whole powerful thing that I think is really cool about a character in a movie with Michael Myers in Halloween 6. And that actually was number 1 for me, was Halloween 6 Michael Myers, because of how powerful and just strong the character seemed in the movie. And this is why this one gets number 2, is not only because the mask is awesome, but also because Jason was so imposing and was so different in this movie. And I thought they did really good. I love how he ran. He didn't just walk, he ran, and he just no bullshit Jason. I mean, it was a really cool movie. If you have not seen it and you think, oh, it's just another remake, I don't want to see it, do yourself a favor and see it. Definitely don't recommend watching it with family because there's a lot of boobs in it. But it is a good movie aside from the constant TNA. I know that sounded kind of stupid. I mean, I love boobs as much as the next guy, but I'm watching a horror movie, not a porno. So sometimes it does kind of get annoying. But anyway, guys, do yourself a favor and see this. Let's go on to number 1, my favorite Jason mask of all time. So we're going back to Jason X from 2001. Earlier, Jason X Upgraded got a slot on the list. This time we're going with Jason again, but this time in Jason X we're going with Jason that simply was not upgraded. How he looked before he got the upgrade. To me, this mask is the ultimate Jason mask. I would love to see them bring it back in a future film, even though I know for sure it's not going to happen. I just really liked the way it looked. It was different, but it was the same at the same time. It was a very cool, it was a powerful mask, it was intimidating. Just everything about the mask was so cool, and I'm looking at it right now as I talk, just so I don't leave anything out. I really loved that iconic scene. I remember I went and saw this movie in the theater, and if you haven't seen the movie, see the movie. But in the beginning of the movie, Jason is chained up in this, you know, this like quarantine zone, so to speak, because they just can't kill him. You know, they've hung him, they've shot him, they've done everything to kill this guy, if you will, and he just will not die. And there's this guard watching him, and Jason keeps looking at him, and Jason looks at him and glares at him. And I remember being in the movies, and when he glared, everybody in the movies like, oh, you know, it was just a really cool atmosphere. There was a lot of cool people in the movies. Everybody was really into it. Like I said, it was a very cheesy, bad acting movie, but it's still good in its own way. And this mask is just stands out in my mind as the best mask that Jason has ever worn. Hopefully they'll bring something similar, if not the actual mask, back in the future. I definitely think this is a cool mask, and I hope you guys agree. So anyway, guys, this is the Keith Carnes. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to come back and see future episodes. If you want to see me do a countdown of anything, it doesn't have to be movies, it could be anything, go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I'll get around to doing it as soon as I can, have the time, as soon as I can. And yeah, let's see what you guys think. What is your favorite Jason mask, or what are your top 5? Anyway, guys, this is the Keith Carnes. I'll see you guys in the next. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later.